Thanks.
Just for you being first time back since you guys did what you did here last year, just kind of bring back memories at all, or
Um, yeah, good memories and bad memories. When they kicked their ass the first game of the season, and obviously winning. But whole new year.
for you that those games, that game 1 and 2, those steals just seem to sort of get the whole city, New York, behind you. After I think you said at the time it was kind of like an up and down year. Do you kind of feel that that's kind of where you kind of became a Nick or whatever?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I just know that I help my team win, and I know New York cares about winning, so I think they'll be on your side, if you help the team win.
Considering how Landry's shoulder looked when it happened, like the news is about as good as it can be. How good is it that he's back around the team and that it looks like he'll be back fairly soon?
Yeah, great. I think just more his spirits. I'm happy about seeing him. Compared to last year where he was fine spirits, but he knew that the situation he was in. Trying to make the team. I think at that moment last year. To now, him having a rhythm and understanding his role and, the confidence he has and knowing that, it's a different type of security. And I think just his spirits being high, gives me confidence, gives us all confidence, to be okay and, waiting for him to get back.
Impression of the Celtics team and how they are different from that team you saw in May?
Man, I think just they still got, the Coach Mazzulla, and I think he's a hell of a coach. And they got guys that's going to play hard, smart, a lot of talent. I know they got guys, banged up or not here, but, they got next man up, and they come out there playing hard, physical, and doing whatever it takes to win.
What do you think about Joe? Like, do you hear people talk about him or just the way you see him coach? Like, what stands out to you about him?
I think just how resilient he is and his mental toughness. I think, take a lot of it, reminds me of a lot of other coaches I had, Coach Wright, for example. Just breeding that mental toughness, and, I can appreciate a coach like that.
This 4-game win streak, it feels like from our seat the on-ball defense from the group has really improved with guys like Josh really kind of taking pride in that, and Deuce. How much has that been a catalyst for the success for you guys over the last week or two and improving on that end of the floor?
Yeah, for sure. I think, defending especially starts with, on ball, and I think our coach has been doing a great job of, voicing us and telling us to be more on ball and not giving up too much space. And we've been listening to them, and know it can be difficult sometimes, but just willing to put in the work and the effort, and knowing that you got confidence behind you, you got 4 other guys that's going to help you.
It's been obviously a few years since you were all defense. Do you think that your defense isn't getting the recognition it used to because people are they're not seeing something, or do you feel like your defense fell off, or like why do you think your defense has not been getting the recognition that it was like when you were in Phoenix?
I don't know. I don't care what people think. I care what my coaches and my teammates think about me. So, if they think I'm doing a pretty good job on ball, then I'll listen to them.
How do you think you've been doing?
I think I'm doing a pretty good job. Just I feel like just in a good groove, and understanding how guys move, and not fouling as much. I think last game I had a pretty bad foul game, but I think just playing defending smart, but just all the trust I have my teammates help me behind me.
Some of the crazy numbers you've been putting up, steals and blocks lately, is part of that. Are you doing anything different, like in the system? Seems like maybe you have a little more freedom to roam a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's our coaching. Our system defensively, is different. It's been different kind of in all my years I've been in the league. Just being in the shifts. I think that even in NBA, I think a lot of shifting has been a little bit less from playing a 2-on-2 how it kind of used to be for some years. So I think Toronto been one of them teams that always been shifting heavy. Playing against them since I was in Phoenix, knowing that they shift strong side corner, which I thought was like a sin. But understanding that you can do both, shifting and getting back out. So yeah, I think it's just our defensive concepts and trying to execute, our coverage and what I got to do.
What way do you think We're coming up on that 20-game mark. Like Kat mentioned last year, the grit and the toughness that allowed y'all to get those 2 games here. But what do you think is the way that this team has grown most so far, like as we've gotten into the season?
I think just understanding and adapting, you know, through a new system, a new coach, and for the guys not, you know, listening to noise. And I know fans and stuff. I know I'm not saying all because I know a lot understands, you know, what a new system, a new coach, you know, does for players, and you know how difficult it can be, you know, trying to learn, and especially off, you know, past success. It's different. It's gonna take some time, and I think we learning and you know not paying attention to what others think and knowing that being here every single day is that all we gotta do is just learn and understand. And it's gonna take growth. You know, it's not gonna come in.
Mike seems to be super collaborative. Is it that way as y'all are like, this works, this doesn't work? Like, do you feel that way, player to coach, like with the new
Yeah,
system?
and also I think that's the big thing I learned from Mike too was that even with some of his things, you know, maybe he'll listen to us and you know if you feel like okay he might like this and that, but if it don't work with us, you know, he'll take it out and sub out something else for us. So that's one thing that I learned from that. I did it in the beginning, you know, it was kind of, you know, throw everything out there, which is as you should as a new coach, and we all try to learn it, and then some things that we got to, you know, fix and tweak out a little bit, we'll do. And I think we're doing that as the time comes on and as the games go on. We're live in the games where you see something and, you know, we see something we like, then we might add it and things like that. So I think just adapting throughout time because everybody wants success right away. You know, you can't, you know, everybody won't be like OKC, you know, hella talent they got, but they've been together for so long, and it's like clockwork for them. You know, I know they could go out there and blindly throw the ball and know where guys are going to be and know how each guy plays. So just the process of everything is just taking it day by day and, you know, keep growing as the season goes.
All right, guys. Thank you, Mikal.